Hey guys, what is good? Hope everyone's good. Hope everyone's doing well. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing 3 tips for you guys that have more creative drums in your beats. Have a little bit of that flavor, add a little bit of spice, just give it that chef's kiss, just to get them from here to up there. So before we get into that, if you guys could subscribe, like, or comment, I'll be greatly appreciated. It helps the videos out, helps push it to the right people, and helps me further develop more content. And if you guys haven't yet, go check out my playlist. It's down in the description below. Got absolute gems on there. It's updated every week, and trust me, there's always going to be something that you'll probably like on there. So go check it out and run that up. But moving on from that point, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so tip number 1. So as you guys can see, I got a loop here. Just a simple drum loop, nothing much going on. We've got 808 hi-hat, snare, kick, and such. I'm going to play this to you guys just so you can hear it. Not bad. It's a little bit boring. There's not much really going on. It's just plain. It's simple. So the first tip I have for you guys today, tip number 1, we are going to look at the loop roll. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the hi-hat instrument here. That's it, right? And I'm going to go to the Q sampler. So in the sampler, and I believe, I'm not sure if this is specific to Logic Pro. I'm sure you guys can get this on other doors as well. But you have the loop option here. So if we press forward, everything's highlighted in yellow with these bars here. And what I like to do is use this for like a sort of perk sense and shorten the loop. So once I play the keys, you get that. It sounds cool, right? So as long as you hold it, it'll keep going. But I like to just do slight little touches. And for the loop, if you shorten the bar, the quicker it goes back and forth, the longer you do it. Short. And I like to add it. It gives a little bit more flavor. So if we do that, I like this sound at the moment. I'm gonna record in something just to add a little bit of variance, a little bit of character. And that is all there is to it, guys. Literally just a slight little change, and it gives a bit more of a bounce to it, man. Now, the really cool thing about this as well, guys, you can actually use this trick on anything. Doesn't just have to be drums. It can be on a sample. It can be on, a sample, whether it's keys, pads, or anything. Anything you can put into a sampler and loop it, you can use it. And what's really cool, guys, I'm going to show you this. I'll probably go deeper into it into another video. But, for example, if we go to the kick here, and we put the kick on loop, so we press forward. I said that if you shorten it, the faster it will go. So if you shorten it to about here and such, it's moves so quick that it kind of just sounds a bit like an electric keyboard. And if you do chords, or actually, let me. Make it a bit lighter. If we move that just there, so. Cool, right? So as I said, guys, you can use this trick on anything, absolutely anything. And yeah, so that is tip number 1. That is the Q loop roll, whatever you want to call it. Well, that is the loop roll. Really cool thing. I like to use it to add a bit of character. I like to use it for perks specifically, like hi-hats, Maybe like the high end or the tail end of a clap or so forth. I feel if you do it on the other end, it can sound really blocky and really choppy. Don't let the loop go too far, specifically for these type of drums. But yeah, that is the first tip. So let's move on to the second one. So moving on, we have here another little melody. All I've got here is just a quick melody here and a hi-hat pattern. So this tip number 2 is something I like to call all it is the tape delay effect, and this really gives your drums, specifically for your drums, more of a live feel. I know a lot of people have to sometimes individually, if you don't have a MIDI keyboard, individually, like, you know, change the velocity on all these on all their hi-hats and their snares and stuff, and that can be time consuming. That can take a really long time. I really like this technique specifically on like drill drums or like house and so forth, but even jazz, hip hop, it just gives it like a really nice feel. So if I show you the settings quickly, so we have a standard tape delay, stock plugin in Logic Pro, and what I have is just put it on the quarter note, low feedback, put it all the way to dry, and the wet, you only want a little bit, you don't want too much, you just want a little bit. And if I just I'm going to bypass it so you guys don't hear, but this is what it sounds like without the delay on it. It's all right. It's a thing, but I feel it could feel like it's got a lot more going on. So as soon as we add in the tape delay effects, subtle, it's not like, too much. You can change how much you want as well. See, like, adds a lot more color, adds a lot more flavor, and just gives more of a live feel, like a live drummer feel, without having the need of always changing the velocity so much. As you guys can see here as well, yes, I have various velocities already, so that was a bit of a anticlimax. But a way that you guys can change that as well, if you go to MIDI transform and literally just go to humanize, and you can literally just select all of them MIDI inputs, and literally just press select and operate and stuff. And what it will do is that it will change the velocity, and it'll slightly nudge as well, so that they're slightly offbeat, that they're not always on beat. Just give a bit more of that human feel. But that is tip number 2, the tape delay effect. You guys can add that on so many different things as well. But specifically, I say this is really good for hi-hats and some perks as well. If you just want the perks to have a little bit of a tail, just give, like that bit of air, that bit of atmosphere and everything. But moving on from there, we are going to go into tip number 3. So guys, we are going back to the very first melody that we were using, and in this one specifically, in this melody, what we're going to do, we're going to actually go here, we're going to duplicate and get another hi-hat in, and this tip number 3 is the layering technique. Now, sounds simple, sounds easy enough, but hear me out. So actually layering various difference in the same instruments can give you a whole new shape, a whole new sound coming forward. I like to do this with hi-hats because it adds that nice bit of contrast, that nice bit of color into your tracks. So if we actually play it with what we have now, it's a little trick that we added before is good, but we want a little bit, wanted to make it a little bit more busier. So what I'm gonna do, go here. We have Diligence drum kit as well. If you guys want to go check that out, go check his channel. I did a video with his loop, and you guys can go check that out right here. I believe it's right here, should be here. Yeah, check that out right here. And that's really cool. You guys can go and check out his drum kit there. So what I'm gonna do, I like this one, I like this one, I like this one. You know, we'll load up the sampler, grab this sample, and then boom. Yeah, we can work with that. And literally all you're doing is just recording another hi-hat pattern over everything. Remember guys as well, whilst you're doing all of this, remember the gain stage as well. Let's get a bit of variation into certain things so that everything's not overpowering each other. And I say, yeah, let's get another one in. Let's get another one in just to add a bit more flavor. Let's add in this one. And use the first technique. Now, one really cool thing I'm going to mention now as well. You can also change the direction. So I like this bit. Ooh. And how about we shift the and do that. I like that bit. I don't like the first one. I feel it dominates a little bit, but yeah, you know, you guys can hear we got a lot more flavor, especially compared to the first one, you know. And yeah, there you have it. There you have it, guys. 3 simple tips, have more creative drums, you know. Stack the layers, layer it up, use that Q loop to add a little bit of flavor, a little bit of spice into, like, you know, little pockets. And then last but not least, what was the final one? Yeah, tape delay. And that is it, guys. Thanks for joining me for the video. Hope you guys got a lot from it. Remember, like, subscribe, comment what you thought about it. Let me know, and check out the playlist as well. And I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya.